Welcome to TechFaithful LA chapter. I'll be your presenter, Aloysius Siwa, and this week we're discussing setting up a web server from scratch. We'll discuss how a web server operates, the pricing models, setting up an evolution of server architecture. In general, a web server is accessed through your browser by typing the protocol, HTTP, the domain name, and any other parts to get to the file you want. So HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and it is the language that helps the browser interact with the server by sending over the instructions. The domain name is not understood by the server or other machines, so that is sent to the DNS service, which converts the name to an IP address that can actually be used to address to direct the instructions to the server, and any other parts that are getting straight to the file are only used when the server is identified. Now, in some instances, the server is located directly at the IP address, and in other instances it is accessed through a load balancer, which is most installations that handle any sizable traffic. The load balancer is in different formats. You could have round robin, where traffic is evenly distributed; failover, where traffic is sent to one server until it fails, and then it's then sent to the next server; or weighted, where traffic is sent based on weights attached to different servers; or the source IP, where the address you're coming from determines which server you're sent to. Most servers are located behind a firewall for obvious reasons, and sometimes if they're large websites, they're in separate virtual private clouds. Some are publicly accessible and others are privately accessible. Now, even in the cloud itself, you may not find everything on one server. It may be accessing these things from many other servers, for example, a database server, a file server, or even internal APIs or external APIs. Okay. For example, you could have a website that uses the Google API for their map service. The pricing models for setting up servers depend on the technical knowledge of who's setting it up, the budget, and sometimes the level of control required, or the amount of traffic that needs to be handled. Usually for website builders, they're very simple. You have a graphic user interface, you set it up or manage your website through this interface. So that includes websites like Squarespace, Shopify, Weebly, and so on. For shared hosting, you have a server that is shared by many other customers. So sometimes if a server goes down physically, all those other customers lose their access. But most of the times these servers are backed up to an extent that you never notice when it's down. For dedicated hosting, you have your own server, your own physical server, so it's more secure. you fully control everything. However, this is an expensive proposal for many people. But as the business grows and you have more clients or more traffic, you may need this option. For cases where you need more space to cut down on costs and also to have more control over your servers, some people go for co-located hosting, where they purchase and set up their own servers and house these at the facilities across the country or across the world in these co-located hosting providers such as Equinix or China Telecom. For very large businesses and some hobbyists, there is a self-hosting option where you purchase the server, set it up, customize it to your heart's content, and then allow access to the outside world to that server or to the people you want to access it. This we did in our Meetup group for setting up a LAMP stack using AWS. If you're not able to attend, I encourage you to Google and attempt to figure it out, or attend the next meetup and ask where you're stuck from your fellow meetup friends, or I, the organizer, or drop me an email at the contacts presented on the first slide. The evolution of server architecture has been very interesting and has really been driven by the computing abilities due to the discovery of more and more ways to improve performance of chips, basically obeying the Moore's law. And initially servers were mainly mainframes and accessed through terminals in the same building as a mainframe, but over time, as desktops were being invented and becoming more popular, we went into a phase of distributed servers, and as we needed more space and more client server applications coming online, Google becoming popular, and many other, rather Microsoft becoming popular, and many other client server applications. This led to large individual servers and distributed servers being set up around the time Mozilla Firefox, around the time the browsers were invented, like the Mosaic browser and Internet Explorer. The distributed servers became more and more distributed and more common, but still expensive for the layperson, until we came to a point of virtualized servers where even the same physical server could be shared by many people. That brought down the costs tremendously and led to the big boom in the cloud-based computing, where everything is stored in servers distributed around the world, also known as the cloud. And this is the point at which we are right now, but we are going more towards increasing the capacity of these servers in the cloud to handle big data and the current big interest in artificial intelligence, which depends on a lot of data, high computing capacity, and these machines being able to do more and more intelligent processing than ever before. So this is what is changing the world, because the servers are actually in the background causing all these, or running all these discoveries that we are seeing right now in technology. Next Saturday we shall be discussing how to code a simple image recognition ANN, and I welcome questions and feedback that you may have. You join our Google group, and you can get more and more interesting information and feedback from me and all our fellow experts and colleagues. Thank you.